Good morning, lovely, lovely people. Welcome back to a Sunday. Again, it's going to be a very, very super hot day. There's a lot of videos about, and I get a lot of comments as well, or some derogatory, some bashes, and some with good insights. And it's about like when people say, "My money, her land, my money, her house. Have I done the right thing?" Well, I think when you question it, then possibly you might not have done the right thing for you, because to buy land or to build a house, you've got to think it's all disposable. So, and that is the truth of it. You've got to think everything that you're spending in the Philippines is walk awayable. So you've got to think, well, I've only got this certain amount of money. If it goes wrong and I lose everything, you're not going to get it back. Because as we all know, especially being on a tourist visa or something like that, the law will not stand in your favour. Even on a 13A, even on my permanent residence, the law will not stand in my favour. And why should it? Why should it? If we are fool enough to be dishing out money on buying land and building houses and even making businesses, then we are also foolish enough to walk away from it, because we have no choice. We have no choice. So to question yourself is probably think about it a little bit more before you do it. Because like I said, guys, it's all disposable money. You've got to walk away from it if it goes wrong. Now, there could be many reasons why you want to buy land and build a house. Me, because I'm married, I'm a resident, and I've got a son here. So for me, it makes perfect sense. Because if it did go Pete Tong, my son, which would be the innocent party in all of this, he's still got something. So rather than me thinking of myself, thinking, well, I could just rent and, not risk, losing anything, I think that's the wrong way to think for me. And plus, when you do build a house, or you buy land and you build a house, and watch them coconut Stephen, otherwise I won't be finishing off the house if one of them bangs me on the head. So when you are, building a house, you can pick your location as well. And if you don't like many neighbours, you can buy a bit more land around you, so then you'll never have neighbours. If you're renting, you can't choose that. Yes, you can be on a subdivision or something like that, where it's a little bit more peaceful, where there's guards on the gate and there's not so much racket going on, but it's still on a subdivision, isn't it? It's like being on like a glorified council estate with a guard. So for me, it's a no-brainer, because my house, or our house, it's not my house, it's our house, will be my son's house eventually. And it's my wife's house now, really, isn't it? But you know what I mean. I don't think of it as I spent the money, it's my house. Don't argue with me, otherwise I'll throw you out. That's never going to happen. In a million years in the Philippines, we could have an argument and she could throw me out. That's probably more liable to happen to me. But you aren't wasting money if you've got children, if you're married, and you just, rather than think of yourself and be selfish and think, well, I'm spending all this money, things might go wrong. Things might go wrong anyway. I mean, how many houses have you people, or people who you know, being married in your own countries and you've got a divorce, yes, you get something out of it. In the West, you get something out of it, but it's still a massive loss. And the difference is, in the West, my dog, to start again costs you a heck of a lot more money. A heck of a lot more money in the West to start again. Here, it doesn't. It doesn't. You pick your... What's my dog back? He's gone mental, look. He's gone mental. Don't know why, but he is. Going around in circles. But I mean, if you start questioning yourself before you do it, then perhaps you're not ready to do it. And also, this is apt, is when you get with your Filipina, some of the family will probably say, get him to buy you a house. Get him to buy this. Get him to buy that. If that happens, either get away from that family or make it clear that you are not going to buy a house for your Filipina because of your family's wanting you to do that. That's awful. That's awful. I never had that, fortunately, because when I got with my wife, and before we got married, I said I was never going to buy a house or buy land. This is what I said, because don't forget I was bitten once when I first come here, first time ever. So I made it quite clear that I was never going to buy land, and I was never going to buy another house. So I was just set for rental, and it was only when my wife got pregnant, oh, something caught my foot, that I started thinking about it again. But before that, I wasn't thinking about it no more. I was quite happy renting, because the place where we was renting was a nice place. And we had our own drive and a gate and things like this. So, and it was only, I think, 5,000 a month, I think. With the internet as well, with fibre internet. So I didn't have any reason to buy a house. But then I thought, well, she got pregnant, which wasn't planned on my part anyway. And then things changed. Then, while she was pregnant, we started looking for land, and we found this place here, and we got this. And like I said, this is a 3-year build, this, so far. And best thing I ever did, because we moved to a different municipality, out of the city. We come here, love it, brilliant, great place to bring our son up here. There's no late bars, no drinking, no violence. My dog's disappeared. He'll come back. So yeah, I think it's. I mean, I'm not a selfish person anyway. I never have been. And as far as I'm concerned, this is my wife and my sons. I'm a little bit more than a tenant, of course, but if the shit hit the fan, then that's all I would ever be, but I wouldn't allow myself to be a tenant. I would move on and start again. And this is another thing as well. When you die, because we are normally older than our Filipinos, generally speaking, I've heard a lot of foreigners say, when I die, her wife's family over my dead body will move into that house. Well, it will be over your dead body because you're dead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get on with your wife's family or not. If you die and you got a nice big house and they living in a bamboo house somewhere, they are going to move into your house. So what? It's not going to agitate you no more, is it? Because you're dead. You're dead. It doesn't matter. And it wouldn't bother me if it would now if I'm alive. I don't want any of my wife's family in the house. Living. I don't mind visiting. Don't mind staying for a while. But not living. Nowhere. And I'm not being horrible when I say that, but I couldn't do it. I like my routines. I like my peace and quiet. And I like to do what I do. I don't want to be people coming and going. I can't have that. It's just not for me. Maybe I'm getting a bit old and I just don't want that racket. And of course, if they moved in when you're alive, then you become responsible for them then, kind of thing. So no, when I'm dead, she can invite all of her family from everywhere in the Philippines. I don't care. Not bothered. But right now, no. So yeah, my land, my land, my money, her land, so what? So what? Just, I mean, if you haven't got children and you aren't married, I don't see the need to do it. Unless you've been together for a long time. And also bear in mind, many Filipinos are already married, so you can't marry them unless you get the annulment. So that's a bit of a dodgy thing as well, I think, maybe. Not for me, because I wouldn't think like that, but for you, for your way of thinking. And I think age as well. I think the older you get, like say in your 70s maybe, I don't know, late 60s, 70s, and you decide to do something like this. Well, I think that's it's more of a risk. Because you could spend all of your savings on the house, and then it goes Pete Tong, it goes wrong, and then you're out on the street. Or you've got to find rented accommodation or something, I don't know. But I think, although people, I'm going to be honest here, and I'm going to be brutally honest. If I was in my late 60s, 70s, I wouldn't come to the Philippines. I wouldn't. Because what would my quality of life be like? Starting again at that kind of age in a different country. Not unless I've been coming prior to that and I've been with a Filipino for a long time or something like that, or I've built a life up here, but I wouldn't come into the Philippines if I was any older than what than what I actually was. Because you've got to have your fitness when you're here as well. You've got to, you can't rely on people to wipe your ass here. That's my pride. And I can't have this thought process of, well, I'll meet a lovely Filipina and she'll take care of me into my old age when all my bodily functions have gone. That I can't stand the idea of that. For me, horses for courses. Do you know, someone was saying to me, and this was ages ago, and it wasn't when I was with my wife, it was before that. And I was single, and they said, why don't you get a girlfriend in the Philippines? I said, I've had one, went wrong, lost everything, don't want another one. I said, I'm just going to be free for a while. And they said, well, what about your washing? Who does your washing? I do. Who does your cooking and cleaning? I do. Well, why don't you get a Filipina to do it? I thought, I'm not in the Philippines to get a Filipina to wipe my ass and to do my washing and to cook for me. I'm not here for that. But I think you'd be surprised how many men are. And the thought of me getting old and my wife sacrificing her life to clean me up, oh God, I don't know. It's just a horrible thought. A horrible thought, because I don't want to become a burden on my wife, my son. But I hope I'm a long way away from that yet. I bloody hope I'm a long way away. So for me, I'm not here because I want to be taken care of. I'm here because I like living here. I love living here. And I love my family very dearly. And I don't want to do anything that would burden my family. Mark, and here my son is awake. He's awake. See, I come down here early so I could do this. And I was just in time. Because if he see me here now, he'd be running and tearing. Daddy, Daddy. Cockerel's there. Listen, people, I'm going to go because the cockerel is singing a song to this cockerel. Thank you guys for always dropping by and watching my videos. It means a lot. And thank you for all the kind comments. And not so thank you so much for all the not so kind comments. Enjoy your day, people. Whatever you're doing, do it well. Thank you. Bye-bye.